I'm good to go whenever you're ready, Carlos. All right, looks like we're live. So, without further ado, it's June 22nd, 2021. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so yesterday we had our sort of short-term thesis of the idea of sort of a relief rally. Some people call it a dead cat bounce. And usually the reason why this occurs in the market and why it's so powerful to take advantage of is what preceded the dead cat bounce. So Friday's session was notably weak in the SPY. We also saw the Dow, the IWM, QQQ held up quite well, but most of our key index products were all trading to the downside and closing rather weak. This was also a highly correlated state in the markets where not only were all these index products down, but the actual stocks that comprise them were often all trading to the downside, closing near the lows. So when you have this correlated state in the marketplace, yesterday we saw what can occur in the opposite direction, which is that sort of inverted correlation of everything traded back to the upside. Now, the thesis behind yesterday's price action was based on a few key items. One, we wanted to see the inflationary stocks have some sort of relief rally. We wanted to see financials, industrials, materials, and to some degree energy, which actually had a very strong overall session and hasn't really seen the same impact as some of these other highly correlated inflationary trades. We wanted to see all those sectors have their bounce. And we certainly got that. If we just quickly go through our sector ETFs, we can see that financials had a decent bounce, roughly where we expected, which was the previous support area before a major breakout. You can even look to the weekly and say that we saw a reaction off of the 20 period, which is what we were looking for. Industrial, same basic idea, maybe not necessarily testing the 20 period on the weekly, but seeing some sort of general reaction after a precipitous drop. We wanted to see materials, which is one of our weakest overall sectors, sort of the largest percent drop from high to low. Same basic idea as financials. We had a breakout zone, sort of an area of swing high to pull back to breakout support. This general area, and also a little bit of retest that occurred in the past, facilitated that weekly 20 period area that also facilitated the same bounce idea. So all of these key areas were in play yesterday, back to the upside. And we also had energy, which tracks financials pretty closely most often, not necessarily seeing the same downside reaction based on the FOMC and Fed press conference last week. But inside of that drop, we were coming into an area of previous support. This was a zone where the market broke higher on a gap. So we filled a gap and then we basically reversed direction. Now, energy had some additional catalysts. We saw that crude, one of our commodity products, I can get it to load, didn't see really any selling pressure based on some of the information we got last week. In fact, it is in sort of that trending structure that we like to see for just continual upside. We've analyzed crude for a period of time. We spoke through the more volatile session and how there was some building of energy to get us both out of this area, this range, but also to test a downtrend resistance and the key breakout that we saw a couple of weeks prior. This is helping energy continue its bullish trend. And some of our other commodity aspects of energy. And forgive me, my platform's running a little slow this morning, but these are still stable overall. We have not seen the same crash that we have seen in specifically more sensitive aspects to inflationary pressure. And those are going to be things like gold and the metals. We saw anything like platinum and silver. Should probably not load so many at the same time. But we also saw some, I'll say, agricultural products that saw the same selling pressure. And there are some overall catalysts to that regarding China's exposure to these, both with soybean, corn, and I look across to our futures. I might not have this one. Oh yeah, yes I do. And then specifically lumber. What I'm showing here is actually the futures contract adjusting for the roll. But if we go ahead and take off the contract changes, you can see that lumber did suffer a pretty major decline inside of those contract changes. So whenever that roll did occur, there was a huge amount of backwardation, and that caused a overall decline in the continuous contract. So a lot of these products were hit pretty hard, but in the time frame of an intraday session, we are seeing that relief rally. Now, what helped us with that thesis is the fact that we did not see heavy sell-off inside of what has commonly been sort of this push and pull market of tech versus financials. And whenever we saw the technology sector start to breach all-time highs during that period of volatility last week, we came to the sort of general thesis that if tech could hold and some of these inflationary trades, overall sectors that are often impacted by inflation increasing and sort of that economic recovery cycle, as long as tech is holding in that time frame, we could get a really strong rally off of that sell-off, and that is exactly what we got. So moving into today, and specifically moving into the rest of the week, we need to evaluate whether that was just a short-term sort of temper tantrum that the market wanted to throw, a general correction that will lead us to higher overall prices, or is this a warning sign of something much more violent yet to come? Overall, I think the consensus that I am looking at is I'm actually quite cautious at this point because, one, we're seeing a lot of momentum start to essentially leave the market to the upside, and that helped facilitate this first part of the drop inside of the pattern structure of a rising wedge. We also see this market's ability to correct itself rather quickly. So inside of a binary event, we saw sort of that 3-day sell-off back to the 50 period. We noted the fact that this was the first time we've had a strong close below the 50 period, but so far we are seeing sort of that similar reaction where we quickly reverse course, and that's sort of that dead cat bounce thesis. Now, amidst all of this volatility, we are also seeing some odd overall, I would say, risk factors starting to bid higher. Now, yesterday we did see the dollar drop, but the dollar has had a key breakout against a notable support area that has racked it off up in the past. At this point, I'm not necessarily looking to get aggressive back to the upside until we can see some reason for this risk factor to start to pull back much more deeply. or to just generally start to fade this reaction. And that'll hopefully help with the metals along with some of the commodities returning to their overall uptrend. I'm also looking at bonds pretty closely, and I'm seeing that is there a rush to these risk-off assets such that the market pressure and the fact that capital is leaving equities back into bonds, if that does occur and is extending for a period of time, then we can expect that equities may underperform other asset classes moving forward. Now, some additional areas of interest. And this is one that I'll be sort of reviewing a little bit more closely as we see that bonds are actually in play at the moment. They're less consolidative in nature, and they're actually having some directional bias to their move. We're seeing a move away from utilities at the moment. And what we've been seeing recently is that utilities has been sort of an alternative risk-off area for the market during a period where the bond asset class has been depressed by some of the actions that the Federal Reserve has taken. So there was a lack of follow-through because of the overall, I would say, purchasing program that the Fed does take into account for bonds. And with that, I was looking to see what other assets with high yield would allow for that sort of risk-off posture. We've seen utilities in the past sort of have that sort of characteristic to them. And inside of the technicals, we were looking at a period of consolidation, this overall flag pattern. We were starting to see it breach higher. And then at the point of last week, we saw sort of a collapse of this breakout. Now, that does not mean that utilities are over and done with, but I do believe that some of that capital was able to rotate back into bonds as it became a more attractive, appreciative asset, along with the fact that the yield was relatively comparable comparative to the asset actually appreciating in value. So there still appears to be posturing in this market that is more risk off in nature. It does not necessarily mean that the market is going down, but what it's showing is that there is a more willing to allocate capital towards risk off assets. And that posturing is something that we can take into whether we want to consider strong bullish sentiment, cautionary bullish sentiment, cautionary bearish sentiment. I think those are often going to be short-term in nature until we get some really key breakdowns throughout the market. And, overall an aggressive bearish nature, which we really haven't been posturing much towards simply because we've been in such a strong bullish uptrend for a long period of time. So until the market really proves certain things coming together, the posture still remains relatively bullish, but there is caution being thrown out by the market. There are red flags that we want to start taking into account, and we obviously can see what can happen in the course of a couple of days with these corrections. We certainly don't want to be caught in those corrections when they're occurring. We want to maybe play the reaction against them, or simply start to consider the opposite side as things start to settle. So let's see. So when we start to look across the board, where is opportunity still in this market? The IWM still is sort of I would say a 50-50 for me to review. The IWM does have some posturing here that technically has, once again, more of that bullish tone to it. We've seen a strong push from low to high. We've started to breach outside of a general downtrend that was structured based on previous swing highs. And now we are seeing the potential for this to move away from a zone of high value. These moves are often quite challenging to accomplish, but if the market can do so, it can be a very powerful move away, as anyone who is postured short in these areas often has to cover. Anyone who is postured long has been essentially preparing for this breakout over the period of months, and now they're starting to see, once again, that secondary markup phase after what can be assumed now to be accumulation more so than distribution. Still not there yet. I think there's still more information needed for that to be considered, but what we are seeing technically is that this market is willing to move away from some key zones roughly in the middle of the trading range. And I'd love to see that really strong sort of ignition outside of this trading range and maybe some additional signs of strength for it to continue. Removing that false breakout thesis away from the posture of this market. And then finally, with some of the dead cat bounce, we did see the Dow have a very strong day yesterday. Most notably, what we covered so far, the strong push off of industrials, financials having a nice recovery, materials. Overall, still looking at more of a corrective relief rally, dead cat bounce, but still a very strong intraday session. You could have taken advantage of that just in the short term, maybe for continued upside back to retest areas where we started to break down from. So ultimately, this may be a couple of days in the making, but it does appear that a corrective pullback has started across the board. Okay, so we are going to start likely hearing more conversation about the potential for something known as a yield curve inversion, or just people starting to discuss the yield curve overall. What I've done is just put together, where to go to look for different maturity dates for the yield curve. For anyone who has never seen this before, it's a very unflattering website, but it's the Treasury website, and it does list these different maturity dates for all of these different. Can't draw a good circle to save my life. I'll just draw an underline there. So different maturity dates, and this information is posted daily, so you can see whether or not there's any sort of difference inside of a normal yield curve. And when we talk about normal yield curves, the basic concept is that if you are holding a longer maturity note, you would expect to see a higher yield over that longer maturity. So you'd expect the longer dated maturities to have higher yields than your shorter dated. And then your mid-tier, your middle of the road, I think they're not called notes at that point, but these mid-tier often may have a little bit of sort of push and pull, maybe some like different changes in the curve based on these mid-tier maturities. But overall, this curve should look something either akin to this, where we start to consider the yield over the maturity. And this is what a normal curve will look like. As we are seeing the potential for this to start becoming more and more of a conversation piece, we may start to hear people analyzing shorter dated maturities starting to get closer and closer to being flat. And short term, you can see things like the 1 and 2 month are relatively flat at the moment. There's really no difference between their yields. It starts to build as you go out in time. And then obviously, as you start to add years onto your maturity, that does start to accelerate a little bit more quickly. When we're looking at the TNX, we're specifically looking at the 10-year, and you can see how that's equivalent to what it is currently charted at, which is about 1.5 at the moment. Now, the shorter yield curve inversions may occur earlier than what is often going to be a more, I would say, cautionary tale of the market, more of an indication that economic growth is slowing, which is often, I think the first one's often going to be the inversion of the 3-month and the 10-year. I believe that's right. 3-month. Forgive me. I forgot the maturities off the top of my head. But oftentimes the conversation will start with these early inversions, if they are occurring or if they're near to occurring. And what this can do is cause a little bit of, once again, a reaction inside of the market. In the lack of the known binary events that we've had previously, the FOMC meeting, there isn't necessarily a ton of economic news on deck until we get to the next earnings cycle. This may become more of an aspect of the market and the analysis that news will start to grab onto. And just as we like to play these binary events, both the reaction from them and then the counter sort of bounce that we're seeing today, we may get something like this moving forward. What I'd like to do is maybe discuss this a little bit further inside of this week's session. We'll cover really briefly how to take advantage of what we might be starting to hear news outlets discuss regarding the potential for this inversion, and the fact that there are some key inflection points across certain maturities. 1.5 is often a key inflection point for the 10-year relative to previous yield inside of the S&P 500. So these notable values and the fact that the volatility inside of the yield is starting to increase as we're seeing bond prices start to rise. We're seeing the yield sort of fluctuate very quickly because of that. The potential for these to invert short term may cause, once again, a little bit of short-term panic, maybe a quick sell-off, and then once again, we can try and take advantage from a technical sense on the reaction or the actual sell-off itself. So, and thank you, Norm. It was a 3 and 10. I was thinking there was a 6-month and maybe a 3-year inversion, but 3 and 10 may be the first one that most people sort of take note of. So, overall, we'll talk more about that later. I'll probably do a little bit more research myself just to get the notes down, but wanted to bring it to people's attention. If you're unfamiliar with yield curves overall, just wanted to offer the website, how to track this information, and really just starting to get a sense of what can be the next phase of this market's, I would say, news discussion. That will be of interest for us, and we can certainly look to take advantage of price deviations based on the reactions. So with that said, I'm Jarad. This is Engineering the Market. Sort of short and sweet session this morning, but we do have some volatility inside of the crypto space. If you'll review the Bitcoin chart, you'll see that we just broke through 30,000. I can bring that up as sort of the last item on deck. And with this, we can see, once again, if you're trading equities, the riots, the maras, a lot of the miners or the things that are sensitive to Bitcoin. We can also potentially play Bitcoin futures. If you're looking to accumulate some sort of long position on this reaction, obviously look into this breakthrough of support, see what occurs in the short term. And obviously, if you're more aggressive to the downside, you're playing a breakdown of the support. Um, and obviously, with the crypto space, this volatility is going to help us take advantage short term of these plays as we see whether the sentiment is still short term bearish or if we finally get some sort of shift inside of a key support breakdown and potentially false breakdown. So that'll TBD. We'll see what happens today. This is going to be a pretty exciting session for that. And overall, we'll shift it over into pre-market prep to see what's showing up in the gappers list. So take care, trade safe. We'll talk more tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Good morning, brother. I'm doing well.
Good,
Hope
good.
you are too. I like that nice blue Das Trader shirt. We got those together.
Right over here. Yes. So these are we got them in New York. I remember.
Yeah, presenting at an event for them.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. Speaking of New York, guys, I'm looking forward to our meetup coming up in 2 weeks here in New York. So if you have not RSVP yet, please do. So it's Thor's birthday, and a couple of the moderators are going to be there. Andrew.
It's America's birthday.
It's America's birthday as well. Yes, it is America's birthday as well. Come down and celebrate with us. Norm, unfortunately, we're going to miss you, man. I'll tell you that.
I know. I feel bad. I can't make it. If it was any other time than that holiday, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of getting a free pass because my wife can't do much as she is now pretty big in her pregnancy. So she can't do much. If not, it would have been the same thing, man. It would have been barbecuing up somewhere else. So I'm kind of getting that free pass there.
I'm just waiting for you to have to mute and answer the phone on the pre-market show again.
Yes. If you guys remember, I got the call when I was in the pre-market show saying, "Hey, we're ready to go. We're checking into the hospital. Come on down." We finished the show. It was only a few minutes left, and and that was it. So it might happen again. We'll see. All right, guys, let's get to it. We had an amazing day yesterday. Let's look at some of the gap stuff that we had on our watch list. Starting with TRCH, yesterday had a nice little pop here. Let's go over to our 5-minute. Here it is, 5 minute. There we go. Let's look at yesterday's action. And That's not it. It was right over here. There we go. Right in here, 621. So good pre-market action yesterday, guys, as well. We saw this level building up. If you guys remember, we talked about it, right? Let me get my Epic pen here. There we go. And we talked about this level right on here, which is winding up between two levels, 9 and 841. And the entire pre-market action was just in between these two levels right on here. Is this thing working or not? There we go. Right in between here, this action was just there and there, just kept banging his head back and forth, eventually gave up one way, and that was towards the upside, guys. Right at the pre-market, took off here. I mean, after the bell, took off nicely, does come back and retest this pullback. But look at this pattern here, guys. This is a very, very strong pattern. So you got the bulls pushing this up. It tried to come back down. It couldn't. Again, the bulls take over. And you see this breakout here. You know this thing wants to go. And there it is. Great volume as well. Beautiful continuation on TRCH yesterday. And then you get this nice little drop here coming back down towards some of the moving averages. It does drop quite a bit, almost to this 841 to the T. It does dip a little bit lower. That became the low of the day yesterday. And then it takes off again. Another consolidation at this great level of support. And then you see this beautiful bounce here in the moving averages all the way up there. So again, TRCH very active yesterday. Today looks very good as well, guys. It's already down 2.6 with 10 million shares traded. So we'll be looking at that. Wish was also very nice, especially later in the mid-morning, guys. Pre-market action was okay. But we know this thing has potential the way it's been trading over the last couple of days. And look at this here, guys. Nice drop out of the gates here. It does recover nicely, hits towards this 1154 level that we had on the daily that became great support. Once you start seeing these higher lows, lower highs happening here, you can see here coming back against this 1227. It tests another once again testing this level 3 times here. You can see here more high lows coming up there, and then boom, there's the breakout on Wish as well. And I believe Brian took this trade. Brian, I believe Thor was in it as well. It was a couple of people that took this trade all together, and that came out pretty nice there. Jazz, yeah, you're absolutely right. Do not call my wife big. Yeah. I meant big.
Never,
never use those two words together.
A woman.
Oh
big.
My God, those things do not go together. Even when they're pregnant, you can't get away with that.
No.
And hopefully she's not watching. She usually watches when I mess up, and hopefully today's not it. Oh man. We have to make this.
Rest in peace, Carlos.
Can we cut YouTube? Can we cut YouTube and just go to the chat room? I'm screwing up this morning big time. Sorry, honey. I love you. AMC guys here, beautiful drop out of the gates yesterday. Again, just dropping nicely, holding on to his 9 moving average, and just an amazing drop all the way down to 53. Then from there, just goes sideways. But it does trade very good out of the gates here, guys, towards the downside. Now, we were not watching this. There were so many other things that were trading very well. Riot was another one also that took off here. Look at this beautiful candle at the market open. The 5-minute takes off, gives you a beautiful continuation, and then heads higher. From there, just kind of dice down a little bit, just kind of going sideways for a bit. NVIDIA, guys, we've been talking about NVIDIA, how well it has been trading, how good the pre-market has been. And look at this drop here, guys. Beautiful continuation, 5-minute open range breakdown. It is a little bit extended, and you do not get a pullback here, so that's concerning. So it's very difficult to take this trade there, especially, you don't have any levels or anything significant happening here, but it does continue nicely, guys, all the way down to 712 from 737. So again, a beautiful drop on NVIDIA. You did get great continuation. Citigroup was just pure chop, guys. And this is what I'm talking about with these banking stocks. Even when they have volume, when they got catalysts, they find a way to trade horrible, and Citigroup did that yesterday. Just nothing going on here. Pretty choppy, although they had a decent pre-market action for a banking stock. Looked like it was going to break out. It did. But even for a scalp, it might not be worth it. You're not getting much out of a scalp that's trading like this. So hence the reason why we always end up taking it off our list there. With that said, let's head on over to our overall market. What's happening here, Norm? What's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, buddy. Well, we got a couple of things going on. First of all, as far as data today, we've got existing home sales at 10, and then we've got Jerome Powell testifying in front of Congress at 2 o'clock this afternoon, with a couple of Fed speakers sprinkled in between those times. So that Powell testimony, I think, will be closely watched. They're going to grill him on inflation concerns and stuff. The other issue we got going on is Bitcoin collapsing. If you would pull up that chart, it is pound BTC index.
Yeah, let me do this over here.
Yep.
Pound BTC. There we go.
We broke 30,000. It tried to recapture it. That failed. We've got a couple levels. If you go back on the daily a little ways, you see it had this attempt at a triple bottom. Triple bottoms are much like unicorns. They rarely ever exist. And then you see back there in January, late January, it tested down here. That was around high 28,000s, around 29. That we'll see if that 29 holds. I don't know. It got the death cross put in, which is a 50-day average falling below the 200-day average, which is usually a pretty nasty technical indicator. So we've got that going on. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what that does to the equity markets. As I have noted, if you look at Qs and SPY, as Bitcoin broke that 30,000, they became a little weaker. So there is some correlation there. We'll see if it plays out. We'll see what the day holds. Yesterday, obviously, a nice strong day, bounce back from where last week ended. And yeah, like Thor said, hard to imagine how it was 60K. Hell, I think it was 66 and change was the top. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's a long fall in a short amount of time.
Yeah, we hit 65. 65, man. It's insane. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what our gappers list has for us this morning. Let's hop over here and take a look. Let's get rid of the stuff we had here yesterday. We'll remove this and remove some more. There we go. All right, let's get some rows in here, and we'll start with ALF this morning. 3.8 million shares flow, which I think was it yesterday or the day before or last week? This thing took off, man. It actually traded very, very well. No, it wasn't yesterday. Was it? Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, last week you actually got a couple of pops here. Again, not the best trading stock, but you did get a couple of pops here last week. This morning they are up 12.7 right now, 792,000 shares traded. I got to tell you, this pre-market action is looking a lot better than it did yesterday. And also, again, the daily slamming up against this 9, guys. We're not giving this up. It really wants to get over this. You can see here a couple of tries already. It did yesterday as well, was not able to. Already in the pre-market is trying, and we're making higher new lows here. So again, let's see. We're kind of hopefully getting into a point where this thing will love to break out of here and go for that 950, maybe 10. It is setting up nicely this morning. Volume is just picking up now. Just start to get going around 830 or so. So only 803,000 shares traded. We need a little bit more than that, but I think it's looking decent. It's looking decent. Just got to be careful, guys. It does trade very crappy. We've seen here how it can be very choppy, a lot of halts at times, but this volume early this morning is looking pretty decent. Let's look at SPLK this morning. SPLK, the link, hold on a second. For those that do not know how to link trade ideas to Dash Trader Pro, you can do that by going here, tools, external linking. This thing will pop up. You hit add link, and then go to wherever you want to put this ticker to populate. I'm going to put it here. You hit hold shift, let it go, hit OK, and then you can take this out of the way, and you should be good now. So now when you click on...
While you're teaching those things, linking those two, can you also show how you put on the line so fast? Somebody asked over on YouTube, and it's been a little bit since we've mentioned it.
Yes, absolutely. We only got one ticker, so it's perfect. We can do that now. So usually I just, you can highlight everything and just delete rows, right? So we'll do that. First thing you want to do is, if you delete everything, hit new row, and then just click on this, right? As you're going to type something, but just click on it, hit space, enter. That's the first thing you do, space, enter. Then from there, once you hit space, enter, don't do it again. Just go backspace, enter, and then just do that. And boom, you got a couple of rows, enter right on there, okay? So that's the way I do it. It's a couple of ways to do it. I tried another different style. It just didn't work for me. That one seems to work pretty good. So we'll type ALF down here. So that's the way you would do that. All right, guys. So ALF is there. SPLK this morning, they are also here. They're up 8.1 right now, 124,000 shares traded. Unlike ALF, this one's not looking all that great. It is a larger flow stock. I think we looked at this before in the past, and I don't recall that we kept it. So
it doesn't usually trade very good volume. It's kind of thinly traded. So unless it really picked up, they just announced, I guess they're getting an investment from a private equity firm, but and that's what's popped them. It came up just a few minutes ago. I haven't had a chance to dig into that, but I'd be very careful. It can be tough to trade.
Yeah, it does look, again, guys, very exciting to see something go from 126 to 136 in a matter of 15 minutes. But
that's because
again,
it's so thinly traded.
Right. If it's not being so thinly traded, that wouldn't happen. And again, that can cause problems. Look at the spread now, 20 cents, and it can get pretty bad at times. GameStop making our list today, up 8% almost right now. A little pop this morning, very early on, moving sideways now between some ranges here. It looks like the highs and lows over the last 2 trading days could be interesting. But again, GameStop for me will be the best right now. It's a possible because it is difficult to trade. I prefer watching something like AMC, even which some of the other meme stocks are actually trading a whole lot better than GameStop, especially AMC. And going with that, let's look at AMC this morning. They are down 2 million shares traded already. I am going to add AMC to our list right up here. CLOV this morning, they are up 5.8, 1.2 million shares traded right now. Man, this stock, it has been doing well in the pre-market. I always end up taking it off. I'm not sure. We had a couple of days that was okay. We'll see. And again, it still manages to somehow gap up and end the day red here. It's just not doing well. So Taylor gapping up. Let's see what they do. Let's add it on here. CLOV. Let's see what happens this morning.
All right. And before you move on, one more thing. We're going to have Andrew and Brian live trading again this morning. Andrew was out sick yesterday because he had his second COVID shot the day before. He wasn't feeling up to it. But we got to get the likes up. So can you get those likes up to 400?
Let's do that.
We got 500. We've got 500 people here. I know we'll have more by the time we get through the show, but if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. It really does help.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Appreciate you guys for doing that. Our all-time high
encourage.
So,
yeah. I think we hit 580 the other day for the pre-market show, which was great. Well, you can challenge that, but let's encourage Andrew by hitting those likes and getting at least 400 up there.
Absolutely, guys.
So thank you.
Thank you for that. Highly appreciate it. And again, guys, it really supports the channel, helps us out a lot. So we really appreciate that. Here's ATOS, guys. This one is up 5.4, 706,000 shares traded right now. Pre-market actions decent, moving sideways a little bit. Their dailies okay. Let's see how they traded yesterday. I didn't keep it on the list.
We're going to be seeing this one on here fairly regularly. They're going to be added to a couple of indices. I think the Russell 2000, Russell 3000 off the top of my head. So.
Oh, okay. So that's where some of this action is coming from. Yep. So far, we have not seen anything great from them, guys. Maybe this was Friday. But again, a lot of things traded great on Friday. So I won't give them too much credit. Yesterday, not so good here. Pretty choppy, as you can see there. We'll see. Put it as a possible for now. Let's come back to it. And I think that completes our gapping up list. One more MUDS, MUDS. So MUDS this morning is up 5.4. Their pre-market, though, is brutal right now. That does not look great. Only 183,000 shares traded. Their daily is pretty choppy here. It does not look clean. So I'm going to skip it for now.
I'll give you the backstory on this. This is a SPAC that is set to merge with Topps, the baseball card company. That was announced in, I believe, early April when the NFT craze was going on. Kind of natural fit for something like baseball cards to turn into NFTs. I don't know how much luster that still has. I haven't heard anybody talking about NFTs as much as that recently. And when you see when you see Bitcoin crashing like it has been, that's not helpful for that either. So keep an eye on it, I guess, but just keep that in mind that it might be.
Yeah, and right now, again, it's not looking great. Maybe impossible for now. We'll see how that spikes up later.
And Topps reported their earnings. They reported their first quarter results, so that's what's moving it today.
You mean like the cards, not actual Topps?
TLPPS, the cards.
Yeah,
the company gave info on their first quarter financials pre-merger here, so that's what's going on there. Okay. Yeah, that ticker you got there is garbage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It used to be crazy, man. People, especially low floats and penny stock traders, love this stock. I mean, it was everywhere. When I first started trading, this is the one that everybody was talking about. GBR, guys, let's go there. GBR, 3.6 million shares float here. but they're looking pretty bad this morning. They're down 20% with not a whole lot of volume. They can't get going. I just don't like the second day fallback here. So again, just be careful. Also, sitting in the American Stock Exchange, that exchange does trade a little bit different than the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq. What's not New York Stock Exchange? So I rarely keep these on deck, guys, especially when they don't look good. This one's not.
And 3.7 million share float.
Yeah, exactly. Too low of a flow as well. Here's Envis. We have not seen this one in a while. Oh, I like this drop here in Envis. Down 10%, 390,000 shares traded. I do like this drop that they have this morning. And we do have shares for short with Interactive Broker. So yeah, I like this one. Let's keep an eye on it, guys. We're losing some key levels here. This 19 area of prior resistance, try to become support over the last couple of days, has failed. Let's see if we can get going here. Also, if you go back into March, you see some areas here around that price level that were resistance and support. So this could be interesting today. So Envis on deck. Let's see what happens there. We got quite a bit in our gapping down list. Let's look at FOCS this morning. This is taking a nice little fall here, down 10% already. Could be interesting. Needs to get more volume though. Only 162,000 shares traded. Maybe a possible, just because I love this drop here. When stocks drop like this, they can really run. Now you got to be careful here on this one. You can definitely make good money on it, but you have to watch the number of shares, because if you look at this price tags here, it's dropping very fast, 50 cents, $1, very, very easily. So again, you're gonna make your money here on the move, not on the number of shares you take. Very
no
careful.
Fox given.
Exactly. AVXL, guys, we've seen this one quite a bit in the past. I don't keep it on here because I think it's extremely choppy. Yesterday did get an initial pop here. That's okay. But again, yesterday we could have watched so many other things that gave you a beautiful trade in the morning. Then from there, it just becomes very choppy. So I'm not a big fan of it. Their daily looks interesting. Possible for now. We'll come back to it, but I don't think we'll even drop it from the possibles list after we're done here. MSTR this morning, it is dropping 7.5. It's not looking great. I do not like the daily at all. Barely gets any volume, guys, under 1.7, and today we're not seeing much volume in the pre-market neither. So I'm going to stop here. Norm, anything you like this morning on your end?
TRCH, it's got heavy volume. It has not been, I mean, it was up and now it's below previous day close. So it's not really gapping, but it might be something to watch later.
Yeah, actually, we were talking about this in the pre-market. And I meant to add it. It's not in our gapless list because it's under 2%. But yeah, this is worth watching today. 13 million shares traded, and it can be explosive, although it's not moving a whole lot right now as far as gapping up or down. All right, let's take it to the room, guys. What do we have here? Let's start with, let's scroll down. I'm going to start with Jad. Jad, you're giving us plug this morning. Let's take a look at plug today. What do we have going on here?
Earnings this morning.
Yes, that is right. Earnings this morning for plug. And as we see here, not much going. Did it happen already, or is it going to?
Yeah, it already happened. It came in, their earnings were a little bit worse than expected. Their revenues were a little bit lighter than expected. They actually popped on the news of earnings report less than expected, but I think it's one of those things where people are just glad it's not worst case scenario, you know?
Right. I was gonna say this thing is not heading towards the downside here, still holding on these levels. That could be interesting, man. Yeah, let's watch plug. Yeah, let's see if they can get some volume. The fact that everything is bad and it's still holding here could be a good sign for them. Let's look at Microsoft today from Wayo. Wayo is giving us Microsoft. What do we have here? Microsoft this morning, they are slightly above the previous day close, not doing a whole lot. 83,000 shares traded, and that's typical Microsoft price action for the pre-market. Their daily does look interesting, guys, as the Qs continue to crush it here, and you see a lot of stuff heading northeast. Could be interesting. I don't think they're really in play, but maybe we can watch it. They need to get more volume and hopefully break out. I think they could trade very nice there. But again, if it does that and they don't really have a catalyst, you know which one we love to watch. Apple. Apple is going to be the one that's going to give you that great pre-market action. It's going to give you that great volume, that great liquidity, and it's going to trade very, very well. And if you look at this daily on Apple, it does look very good, guys. If we can get going here, this area is going to be important. This 132, we've been slamming up against that for some time. Let's see what happens there.
Just to remind, we're halfway. We're a little more than halfway because I said 400, not 500. But keep hitting those likes over on YouTube. We got Brian and Andrew coming up, trading live in a little bit. So, and also it's going to take a second. I'll say this again when we get closer, But if you're watching now and you want to watch Andrew and Brian live trade on YouTube, it takes a second to transition from us to them. So don't think the show is over like normal when we go there, when we get to that point in 15, 20 minutes.
Yep, absolutely. mRNA, I skipped this one here. Let's see what's going on there. mRNA this morning, they are up 1.7, 66,000. The dailies, okay. It's all right. I like the daily here. Possible continuation. Had a good day yesterday. But again, mRNA could be such a hit or miss at times, man. I'm gonna put it as a possible for now. We'll see what it does there. Let's take a look at Mara today. Mara, yeah, Bitcoin obviously is in play. But how come we didn't get to? Oh, here it is, Mara. Yeah, it's just coming up on the gappers list. So Mara is down 7%. Riot is down as well, 6% here. I like Mara this morning. I think it looks a little bit cleaner. So we'll add Mara to our main list today. I think it's a good one to keep an eye on. Right now, dropping nicely, 7%. We do have shares for short. Not sure how much IB, but we'll see. Right now, heading down towards some of these levels. Actually holding this level here right now at 25.90. 94 or so. That's going to be interesting there. Wish was great yesterday. Wish was really good yesterday. I think Wish is worth watching as well. Here we do have a nice little daily candle from yesterday. Possible continuation. We're not doing a whole lot. We did this sideways action all pre-market yesterday into the market open, then we broke out. So we're seeing some of that here again, pushing some great volume. I think Wish could be a lot of the stuff that we have on our possibles list here for sure. So we'll add that on there. Heading down, TRCH. Yeah, we have that one on deck, guys. It's looking pretty good, 13 million. So Lori, that is nice. Shri, we have Plug. Yeah, Plug is on here as well. We have Riot. Well, I don't have Riot, but I have Mara, so you can pick either one. Microsoft we have as a possible. XOM. Let's see here. XOM, I'm not a big fan of XOM, guys, to be honest. When oil is in play, this one could trade very well. We saw that yesterday, obviously, here trending nicely. How about Oxy? Did Oxy do anything yesterday? Yeah, Oxy, almost the same thing here. A little bit cleaner, not as much. But again, I don't see anything great right now on XOM, and usually when that's in play, I go with Oxy anyway. I think Oxy could be a better trading stock. Apple, we do have Alpha is really moving. Let's see, I think we added Alpha as our, yeah, there we go, breaking that 9, guys. It's been trying to do that for some time here. Did break the most recent highs here at 917. So definitely going, this thing's looking nice. It's pre-market action. We do have that one down here as a low float, maybe it's all the way down because we've been adding a few tickers. There it is. So 3 million right now and up 20%. So Alpha is definitely got it going on this morning. Let's take a look at Neo. We haven't seen that one in quite a bit. Neo this morning. Let's make sure we're lined up on the charts. Neo right now. Oh, Neo's got a good pre-market action. Not a whole lot of volume, but good trading in the pre-market at the moment. Pretty much going sideways though, guys. Right now, it's just consolidating at the moment. I would love to see a breakout one way or the other. Not that we cannot trade this. Obviously, this is still a very good move, guys. 46.40 to 45.71. You got 50 cents on there. That's pretty decent. No, actually more. You got more than that. But again, guys, I'm just not sure if we want to keep this one on deck though. We got to be picky today because a lot is starting to look really good here, especially with some of the ones that we have on our main list. So, but I do believe this one could be a lot of our possibles. I do believe that. So let's put it on here, Neo. I think it can be better than some of the possibles we have on our list here this morning. All right, guys, let's stop here. We'll do one more. American Airlines. I see a couple of you guys throwing that out there. American Airlines. What do we have? Yeah, I don't think it's really in play, consolidating right now. So I'll keep it off my list for now. All right, let's take a look, guys, over on YouTube. What do you guys have this morning? NCLH and CCL had good days yesterday. Let's check. I did not see how they did yesterday. Yeah, decent breakout here. Nice little continuation on CCL. Today they're not doing a whole lot right now. Pre-market, they're very quiet, but that can always change, guys, especially when you have the market, right? When you have the market moving like it did yesterday, right? Let's not forget. Even stuff that does not have a catalyst that might not look well now can trade very well. So if the market starts putting in another day over here up towards 426, I guarantee you CCL, maybe American Airlines, maybe NVIDIA after such a big drop can recover a little bit today. Apple, all these stocks, AMD, they might move with this move here. So let's look out for that. Definitely keep an eye on the SPY. We're pretty much flat right now after a nice run yesterday of a big bounce from 415 is 414 or so. So we'll see. But right now, what's going to happen is, though, the ones that are not looking so hot, a move like this again today can help it. But the ones that are already looking good, TRCH, Envis, CLOV. These can move even without the market doing that. So this is why these are making our main list this morning. All right, with that said, guys, let's head on over to community announcements. We will come back and fine tune this list.
All right, tonight, we've been speaking about crypto a decent amount this morning with Bitcoin hovering around 30,000. Kyle is going to be talking about securing a crypto wallet and broker account at 8 p.m. this evening. That is available to elite members, as is next Tuesday's webinar, special time, note 5 o'clock because of his time zone. Eamon is going to be talking about lessons to learn from his best and worst trades. I'm looking forward to that. That should be fantastic. Went backward there, bud, instead of the other way. Psychology, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, town hall with Dr. Katz. He's going to have 2 traders from the chat room, and they're going to have he's going to moderate a discussion with them about their trading journey and psychology during their trading journey and everything else. That'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Mike or Carlos, do you know what psychology is for next week? It wasn't posted when I created this.
No, I'm not aware. We'll get it from Mike in a few minutes.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up. Of course, it should have entries and exits, so it shows your trade. And then mark it up with any commentary you can to describe the trade. Post it on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also, use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We'll choose a winner for each day that will be announced on Twitter. And we'll announce it in the room, obviously. And then all the trades of the day are eligible for trade of the week, which will be voted on by the team over the weekend and announced on Twitter and in the room on Monday. New York City meetup, Saturday, July 3rd. It coincides with Thor's 40th birthday and America's birthday as well. So please RSVP in the forums for how many people, so we know how many people will be there. Go have a drink on Andrew. Doesn't matter how many people there are. It doesn't matter if you're a member or you just watch us on YouTube. So Andrew, Carlos, Mike, and Kyle are confirmed to be there in addition to Thor. So go check that out and register if you can make it. Also, you've got Oregon, Portland, I believe, on June 24th. That's in the forums. You can RSVP for that as well. Mid-thought here while we're in the middle of this. You can pull it up when we're done, Carlos, but ADIL, I believe it's a low float and very low price stock at 376 right now is popping on some heavy volume. So it might be interesting to look at least. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That will get you a discount on the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. It does not auto-renew. If it cancels itself and you have to go in and choose a membership if you want to continue, if Bearable Traders is a good fit for you. Also includes the onboarding classes we do for technology and general onboarding every Monday night live with Carlos, Kyle, Mike. And then if you want to become an elite member and gain access to all those awesome webinars we have, use the promo code Fireworks40 to get 40% off the annual elite membership.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. And yes, I do have this one up here, ADIL this morning, up 30% right now, guys, 4.6 million. So some good volume being pushed around here. I'm going to add this down to our low flow list and on here as well. Next to ALF, both looking pretty good. So ALF holding the 920, guys, looking really good right now, up 20%, 3.5 million shares traded. And yes, Andrew's asking, wait a minute, do I have to pay? No one told me. This is for the NYC meetup. Blame Thor. Thor started this.
Yeah, Thor started it, brother.
he texts me, hey, I'm coming to New York, man. You want to hang out? Let's make it a meetup. Yeah, sure. Why not? Next thing you know, it became it's becoming a decent sized event, and then we invited Andrew. Andrew, you got to come now.
You got to come now.
You got to come now.
Hey, and speaking of Andrew, he's going to be trading the open live with Brian, but we got to get those likes up. We've got 605 people in the room. We can get at least 400, 500 likes. So if you haven't, please hit the like button over on YouTube.
Absolutely, guys. And again, everybody's welcome, guys. Drinks on us, like Andrew mentioned here on YouTube. And you do not have to be a member, and you can bring a friend.
He made me pay the bill for the last one.
Exactly. Who will maybe draw straws or something? We'll see what
we had 130 some odd people. He's like, hey,
Yes.
you mind taking care of that?
Very
I'm just
nice.
kidding. He paid me back.
No, Andrew's good for that for sure. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we have here. How are we doing on the likes, by the way? I can't see the number.
I was just saying we're at 379. We got to get that higher.
379.
We can do
Oh,
it.
okay,
I know.
we're almost there.
Yeah, I know we can hit at least 400, and I'm thinking we can get to 5.
Yes, absolutely, guys. So
And
hit
like
that
I
thumbs
mentioned
up.
before, after Carlos goes through levels and everything, remember it's going to take a minute or two to transition. We're not going to sign the show off. It'll continue. Don't leave.
Yep, absolutely, guys. All right, let's get to it, guys. Not American Airlines, sorry. AMC on deck here, guys. Down 2.4 this morning. 2.6 million shares traded, so it's looking really good right now. We'll keep an eye on this one. CLOV. Still not getting any better. They get an initial pop on here. It does have volume though, 1.6, but pre-market is not looking all that great. Envis does have a better pre-market action, nice drop, so I do like that one. TRCH, very, very active, guys, 14 million. This is going to be good today, hopefully. And Apple this morning, not doing a whole lot, but I like Apple, guys. Again, just depending on how the market is going to trade, Apple could be a very nice one this morning. And we do have Mara, guys. Nice, beautiful drop here. Let's check the shorts on this. Yeah, I figure it was not going to be a lot, guys. Only 65,000 for short at the moment. But again, we'll see. We'll see. That can always change. So that looks good. Secondary list, let's fine tune this a little bit. Neo we have on here. This looks better than most of the stuff we have. Wish looks good, guys. Might be actually replace CLOV, to be honest. I think Wish has more potential, great volume. Yeah, let's do that. And CLOV, I'm just going to drop it off completely so we can continue to fine tune our list. I think Wish has a lot more potential to trade better than a CLOV this morning. mRNA is okay, not great. Atos this morning, it's all right. GameStop, you know what, I'm gonna remove GameStop. I'd rather trade AMC and some of these other meme stocks outside of GameStop. I think GameStop is in play today. It's gapping up, but there's better stocks that can trade a little bit slightly better than that one. MUTS this morning is up 4.6, not the best pre-market action, but we'll see where that goes. FOCS, I love this one because of the drop, guys. It's a very big drop they have this morning, and they can move. You can get 40 cents easily out of this stock, right? We'll just have to see how the volume, is it going to come in? Is the volume going to come in on this? Can we get some good trading on it? AVXL, I'm going to remove this one, guys. I'm going to be a little bit picky today. Plug does have earnings. All right, now it's starting to drop Plug here. We're starting to get some reaction after the earnings right now. Again, they didn't get great numbers, so we'll see what happens there. We're stuck within a range right now between 30 and 28. Let's see where that goes. We'll keep Plug. In Microsoft, I'm going to keep Apple instead. I think out of all these tech companies, obviously Apple is the best trading one, so I'm going to keep that one. I don't think Microsoft has its own catalyst this morning, so we'll keep it off deck there. All right, that looks a little bit better now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the main list and about 6 more on the secondary list. We can fine tune this even a little bit more, but we're going to start doing levels now and just prepare for what's coming up here. All right, AMC, guys, slamming up against the area of great support right on here. This will be 54.45, so good level happening there. We've been holding that for the last couple of days, as you can see here. Let's see if that continues. Now, towards the bottom of this, if we look at, we have a level right at 51.43, so we'll throw one there. All the way down here over at 48.28, couple of days bouncing off of that. You also got some days opening and closing right around that area, so that's good too. And then towards the bottom here, the next level that we have, that's a good one, it's going to be 41.98. Towards the top, guys, we do have plenty of levels from our highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, so do not need to add anything more there. And you also have your previous day close line right on here as well. So let's see, great pre-market action. We were green for a little bit this morning, a few times right over here, and very early on. Right now, we're slamming down against it. Did we mark this down? We should mark this down here. This 54.34. Yeah, we got to mark this down. The low of the pre-market is all the way down at 53.84. You can mark that down as well, and you should. But this level here, you can see the action we're getting right at 54.35 right now. That has been support for a couple of times here already this morning. So let's see what happens there. All right, heading on down, Envis today, they are also dropping here 10% this morning. I do like the fact they lost this low of 2 days ago right on there, so that could be interesting. High of the pre-market is sitting at 17.93. We'll throw a level there, and then towards the bottom, 17.17. And then towards the bottom, we'll look at another level here at 16. Great level of resistance. And then we had the nice little breakout over to the next few levels that we have already on our list. Above the pre-market highs, guys, you do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. So that's got you covered. Previous day close as well. Great area of support. We have lost that the last couple of days. And a bit of a downtrend on Envis this morning. So great volume right now. Great pre-market action. Let's see where this goes. And our low of our pre-market should be, oh yeah, right over here, 7. You know what? The low of the pre-market is 17.17, right? That's on here. But we do have to mark this level down. I mean, it is a clear level of support. This 17.45, we tested that several times this morning already. And we've been holding that. So even if we break down from this and head towards our pre-market low here at 17.17, you still want to keep this on here. That obviously is important to this stock. It's been battling it all pre-market this morning. So TRCH, amazing stuff yesterday, guys. Just incredible. Again, if you missed it, let's just show you right now. If you missed what this did in the pre-market, guys, this thing had a beautiful range, right? Very clear. We had this one here. It was over here at a 918, and then the bottom of this range was 837. We'll mark those now. You can see just the ping pong action back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, you had the breakout here, and look at the beautiful continuation once it broke out of this range. So that was nice yesterday. Did trade very well. Let's see what it does today. This morning. So low of the pre-market, let's start there. 943, let's slam a level there, and then towards the top we'll put another level here over 1145 is your high of your pre-market. Between these two levels, you do have some action in here. You got the previous day close, and you also got some highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So actually from the last trading day. And so you got some pretty good levels in there already. Surrounding the price action on a bigger picture on the daily, you can see here you're pretty much set as far as levels. That 1145, is that your all-time high? I believe so. So this pre-market already, we're slamming up against that 1145. Yep, that is all-time highs, I believe. Went back as far as 2016. So looking good there, guys. Great pre-market action. Great volume. Definitely on the list. Apple this morning. I love the daily on Apple, guys, for a possible breakout. And if we are able to break out from that, we do have some levels we can reach over here. I don't know if 136 is our all-time highs. Could be. No. 140. We're definitely been higher than that. 136.98. Good level there. Another great one here, 135. Look at the area of resistance you have going on there. So that's pretty neat. And then towards the bottom here, you got a little bit of a, within this gap, you got some choppiness here. So not the best to find levels, but we might be able to get away with this one here, this 133.77. If you draw a line there, guys, you can see some areas of support happening there, resistance. A lot of days opening and closing right around that 137.77. So that might be worth having there. Again, it is not a 135.09 level. This level here is very, very strong, very clear. But again, I think you have some touches, some decent sized touches there on that 133.77. And then towards the bottom, guys, below the price action, you're pretty much covered. Just look at the action you're getting here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, creating amazing support on there. You do not need to add any more on Apple. We would love to see a breakout on Apple towards that 133.77. Let's take a look at Mara, guys. All right, so Mara is struggling with the 25.94 that we marked earlier. Now we're looking at low of the pre-market at 25.60, so we'll throw a level there. And then let's look at the daily for a bigger picture. Nice level here at 23.51, guys. Just look how great that area of resistance and then support off that level, right? So you have that resistance happening here, then you have that support happening here as well, right on that level. So that's good. Then towards the bottom of that, we're going to mark down 21.60. That's a good one here, right on there as well. And then towards the bottom of that, in case we were to really take a dive here and go swimming, we're looking at 19.39, and then below that slightly 18.43. So a couple of levels towards the bottom, just in case we decide to go for a nice little drop here. You do not need to add anything more towards the top. You're pretty much covered. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered there. Limited inventory on short for IB. So you might not get filled on the way down, but sometimes even if it says 0, you can still try it, because remember, it takes about, and Andrew talks about this, he's done it before, I've seen it plenty of times, where he has no shares for short. It takes about 5 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes for this thing to update with the inventory from your broker. So sometimes it might say 0, you might still try it. They'll send the order to your broker anyway, and you still might get filled. So give it a shot. Sometimes you might get filled partial. You might not get the entire amount that you're looking for. But if the move is good, why not give it a shot? Here's Wish looking good, guys, this morning. 1 point down 1.3 right now, so it has moved down towards the red here. Low of the pre-market at the moment 13.27. The high of the pre-market 14.50, and then above that, the pre-market we can add. Let's see what we have here. Oh, great levels here, guys. One right on there. This is 12.66. So great level of support and resistance happening right on there, and you also have the lows and highs of the last 2 trading days are right on here, guys. So you pretty much cover there as far as that. So looking good, guys. Great volume. Was great yesterday. Let's see if that action continues today. All right, perfect, guys. I think we're pretty much set. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup, see what we have going on here, who's watching what, and let's resize this. Let's turn this off here, and let's see if we can check out what's happening. All right, so we'll bring this over. And my wife has not texted me, so I think I'm good. I think I'm still be alive to do the show tomorrow. All right, guys, here we go. Thor, we are looking at AMC, Riot, Mara, secondary list, RBLX, MU, SPY, NVIDIA. IPO for today is YMM. We're looking at, guys, Friday, new session 2 added to our members in the chat room is going to be the new series Crypto with Jarad, right? So new mentorship series coming up every Friday at 11 a.m. So do not miss that. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Here's Dima, TRCH, plug Fubo, and she also likes Apple. Tiffany's looking at Apple, AMC, and TRCH. That's a nice list there as well. Andrew, not a big fan of the meme stocks. Wish AMC and CLOV, they were weak and choppy. Yeah. CLV, I definitely do not like this morning neither. But you know, they can start off like that and take off. Looking at Mara and Neo or Rio, maybe Rio is oh no, Riot. There's a T missing. Okay, Riot, yes. And then also looking at ALF, low flow stock. John is looking at RBLX, Roblox, Roku, BA, and Microsoft mRNA this morning. Mike is looking at NVIDIA and mRNA as well. Eamon likes Twitter, PDD, secondary list Uber, Snap, Etsy, and not the cleanest day. Might get some runners. And then we also have Fubo, Wish, and CLOV, and Envis for Brian this morning. So, all right, looking pretty good, guys. Definitely better list than yesterday. Although we didn't have a great start to a lot of the pre-market stuff that we had, you know, it turned out a pretty good day. We had a lot of pretty good runs. Again, giving credit to the SPY for that. SPY putting in a big day yesterday, making things run nicely. All right, let's see here. So Ben over on YouTube is saying that the 1 or 2 thumbs down might be from my wife for my earlier comments. It could be. Guys, I think we're all set. We got a pretty good list. Andrew and Brian are up next. We'll be trading live, so stick around, guys, as they come on and prepare for the for their watch list for the pre-market and get going. We're going to be going live with them as well at 9:30. So just give them a second to fire things up and get connected, and we'll be ready to go very, very soon. In the meantime, guys, I think we have a pretty good list. A quick recap. We have AMC on here, very, very active this morning, down 3%, 3 million shares traded. We have Envis as well on here. They are looking pretty good. Look at nice little bounce here on Envis right now, getting pushed up here quite nicely. So we'll see. Again, they're pushing around some okay volume, but I do like their drop this morning. TRCH as well, looking rather good this morning. Great action on TRCH. If we can trade like it did yesterday, that can be pretty nice. Apple is looking good, guys. I love this for a possible breakout, especially the SPY can give it a little boost. Mara is looking good, and also Wish, again, just amazing volume out of Wish as well this morning. Great pre-market action. We do have shares for sure, and we have plenty of shares for sure. 10 million here for Wish, so that's looking good. All right, excellent. Guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We highly appreciate you for doing that. It helps the channel out a lot. So it does mean a lot to us when you guys hit that thumbs up button. It takes you 2 seconds, but it does amazing for us on our end. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
All right,
we are all set.
Just remember, there's going to be transition for a couple of minutes, and Andrew O'Brien will be on.
Yep, absolutely, guys. It takes just a little bit for them to get fired up and connected, and once they do, we'll be ready to go here. Let's take a look at what is the SPY doing. All right, I hear Brian, but Brian, you have to connect through vMix. so YouTube can be able to hear you and see you.
And mute the room. Don't forget to mute the room.
Yeah, or else you'll get that echo. All right, so the SPY right now, yeah, okay, still pretty much flat, guys. But eyes on the SPY, especially if we can get a run here going, that could be very nice. All right, good morning, Brian. How are you doing, my friend? I saw you connect and now disconnect, but I definitely saw you there. All right, let's see here. Hey, Brian, good morning. I think I got you now.
All right. How is that?
It's perfect. All right, so Brian is on deck, waiting for Andrew, and we'll get going this morning. Brian, what do you
How's
like so
that?
far?
We're
Yeah,
good to
I can
go?
hear you. Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
You can
Brian?
hear me? Yeah, you can hear me?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, good. All right.
If you have
Ready to
if you have an echo, just be sure to mute the room.
No, I don't have an echo. I muted the room. Yeah,
Nice.
I heard that comment. So we're good to go. Yeah, the meme stocks seem to be the ones that everyone seem to be the most in play here.
Yeah.
There is not a lot of other stuff that's moving around too much. I see Square has kind of got my interest here. Is there an echo?
Yeah, you have an echo, I think, on the chat room.
Okay.
So you got to turn off the chat.
I think it was only when I was talking.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe turn down your volume a little bit, Brian. Are you wearing headphones?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Brian, you have your mic on in the chat. We got to turn off your mic in the chat. All right, that should.
Test. Brian, can you hear me? Brian? Brian, turn off your mic in the chat room, bud. Yeah, there you go. All right.
All right, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Now I've got to turn my mic on here.
Hey, Andrew. Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna put the camera on really soon. Okay. So I do apologize for yesterday, guys. I did my vaccine, the second dose on Sunday, and I was just really exhausted. I think Bill Gates did what he was supposed to do. You know, it's funny because okay, perfect. You should be able to see me as well. Yeah, no, I did my microchip on Sunday, the second dose, and then I went for a run on Monday morning, and I couldn't. For some reason, my body was just completely frozen. So, all right, I gotta go back to bed. So in the morning, sorry, I didn't wake up. I said, I'm not afraid of Peter, and I'm not gonna wake up.
Not afraid of Peter. Wow.
Not afraid of Peter. Yeah, so I just, so everyone should be able to see my screen as well. I'm going to share my screen. So all the chat people should be able to see my screen as well. I didn't have any flu symptom. I was just exhausted. My body was really exhausted. Alrighty, so people in the chat, you should be able to see my screen. You should be able to select between Carlos and Trade Idea on my screen. Just to give you an idea, this morning I woke up early. I tried to trade TRCH. I had a really bad loss on it. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but it could be way worse. I went pre-market long at 11.20 and just dumped below the VWAP at 10.90. I got to stop out. That was not a great idea to trade in the pre-market. It's just Norm always trades in the pre-market and he's really successful at it. I tried to be like Norm, but I just didn't work out. So lessons learned, stick to your trade book, guys. No, I blame it on not, just don't try to be someone else, to be honest with you. I try to be like Norm. Sometimes he does trade in the pre-market and it's really good. And I just, I'll go TRC. It's just going to pop up to 12 and then dumped on me at 10.90. So that's a lesson to myself. So AMC seems really, really garbage. Sold off yesterday, didn't do much. Wish was another meme stock, really didn't do much. I'm not really a big fan of any of them. Clove, even Clove sold off for the last 2 weeks, doesn't do much. I'm not really a big fan of anything except ALF, which is a short food stock.
I think MViz is looking like might be interesting.
MViz, yeah. Down 9%, popped up though. Yeah, that's interesting that it popped up. MViz, MVIS, Microvision. Large.
I think they did. Some kind of a private placement or secondary. That's why they're down.
All right. Yeah, Plot possibly could be a good opening range break up to 132. I'm looking at it if it gets the good volume. MViz, yeah, it's kind of disgusting. So I say hi to YouTube people. Thank you for staying. I appreciate the support. We have 499 like. Is there anyone to make it to 500? Just one more like. Any one of you. We did. Thank you.
What's up with Ford? There was a Benzinga article, I think, last night on Ford, saying it was really undervalued as a EV play compared to the other ones. Back in a sec.
Brian down. Yeah, so ALF is interesting for a pop. It's a lower float stock. The float is 4 million shares. You've got to be a little bit more careful of the size. In terms of daily chart, this is all-time high. Higher pre-market 950 potential. If it doesn't run too much, maybe I'll look at it for an opening range break up. AMC is garbage. Club and Wish. Not really a big fan of their price action right now. Flog. Meh. MViz. Yeah, it's not really great. No, Clove. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of daily chart on Clove. It looks like it's really losing it. Don't get fooled by the volume either. Even there was some volume and then it kind of died.
Alpha is starting to pick up here.
Fubo. FUBO.
Yeah, Fubo is kind of interesting. It had a good day yesterday.
Yeah, it did pop up. Yeah, potentially Fubo is interesting too. Let's remove the old levels. What do we have? Yeah, 3250. I'm actually adding Fubo as well. If it gets the good order flow and volume, as you know, as a scalper, I really look for order flow and volume. Bitcoin is below $30,000. It's just a healthy pullback. I'm just kidding, actually. I don't know.
I've seen people do technical. I mean, Bitcoin and those cryptos do trade very technically. I've seen people projecting 20,000 as a downside. So I have no idea if it's going there. That's just what I've seen some people say. Yeah, everything's really kind of choppy. Invis and AMC looks like it's kind of on the verge of selling off here.
Oh yeah, fresh fade. Yeah, I did it on Friday. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna go traveling, so I need to really have a fade. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like Jack Dorsey. I become like Jack Dorsey. How's Jack Dorsey doing, by the way? He must be not very happy these days.
No.
He's always pumping Bitcoin.
All right, here we go. Market's going to open.
All right, market is open. Let's see where the volume is.
Elf's picking up
Anything
here.
interesting? Damn it. Did pop. See if you can play through 10. Let's see if you can get a pullback on it. I'm not going to trade in the first minute because every time I trade in the first minute, I'm going to mess up. Might sell off. And there's some volume. Fubo is not bad. Plug is okay. Not much order flow. ALF. It's going to probably sell off now. Qs are doing some stuff. SPY is weak. Okay, so we get into the 1 minute opening range breakout. ALF. Potential long on it.
I am long ELF right now. Got long at 954. Oh, yes. Bam.
And I got feel the worst possible thing. Let's see if you can go through 10. I'm adding a little bit more on it. Damn it. It's going to probably dump on me.
I'm very partial there at 994.
Yeah, I'm long exactly at 10. It's probably not a great entry. It's going to probably dump on me.
Invis is popping too.
Yeah.
Wish is popping.
Still holding some ALF. Let's see if he can go through 10. Probably not. I'm getting out of it. Kind of iffy. I don't like my entry on it. Fobo is interesting. Fobo was a nice opening range breakup. Just got into this garbage. Yeah, I'm all out of ALF.
I'm out of the rest of mine.
MVIS, no.
Clove is taking off here.
Let's see what AMC doing.
AMC's coming back up.
Yeah, potential AMC long on it. Taking a long on AMC at 54. See if AMC can do opening range breakup. I'm long AMC. Let's see if he can do opening range breakup. 4. This is a squeeze. It's a 1 minute opening range breakup on a weakest stock, so it's a little bit tricky. It might go up, but we'll see. This is not a great setup. It's you're trying to take a 1 minute opening range breakup on a weakest stock. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I'm not in anything right now. Oh, Clove is still going here.
Yeah,
Clove is the one that seems to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 2 losses. Not great. Not great. Clove is interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. CLOV.
Get a pullback.
AMC's dropping.
CLOV. Taking a long on CLOV Clove. CLOV's it's a little bit of a FOMO trade, but I might add more later. Let's see what the daily chart looks like. It 1234.
Looking at
Adding a
it.
little bit more on it. Adding a little bit more on it. Well, let's see if you can go to 250.
I'm short AMC because it looks like it's going to break
Yeah,
down here.
AMC definitely looks like a
53.
short. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to cover some here.
CLOV. Well, still holding 1230. Horrible entry I have. I might bail on it because my entry is really, really bad. So getting out of it a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting completely out of Clove. It's just my entry was horrible. A lot of losses for me today. TQQ is running up. Might go for all-time high today.
Wow, Qs are taking off here.
Yeah. Fubo could be opening range break up, 33. Taking a long on Fubo at 33.50, 33.40. Adding a little bit more on it, Fubo. See if you can get. Is that everything that I touch bounces? Adding a little bit more. Let's see if you can get this.
I'm still short AMC, but down to quarter size, and I'm just, if it goes above my break even here, which it looks like it might, I'll be out of the rest.
I'm long Fubo at 33.40, 50 actually. Clove sold off. FUBU long. Let's see if you can break through 350 on a daily chart. Look at the daily chart on it. See if you can hold it. Clove pulled back and
Here we go. Here we go on AMC. That's it.
Yeah, AMC is really nice. I'm taking another long on Clove CLOV 1220.
Just covering
Fubo,
some
I'm
more
not
here,
sure about it, but I'm taking a
52.27.
long on it. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. 1220. Still long Fubo too. See if you can get a pop on it. Long heavy on CLOV.
Yeah, Clove is going higher.
Sold some.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm long heavy on it. Fubo. No. Please don't drop. Damn it.
All out of AMC. I don't like the candles it's putting in here.
Yeah. I'm long CLOV. It's going to go up, I think. I love the daily chart for the breakout on it. So I'm going to hold a little bit at 1250. See if you can get a little bit more. TPQ, Fubo. Fubo is really jerky, man. Everything that I touched except this club. Yeah, this club is, I think, has the potential to go a little bit higher too. So I'm going to hold a little bit. Oh my God, Q's are running up.
Yeah, Q is the only index that's up.
Adding
right
a
now.
little bit more on Clove. I'm adding more on Clove.
Yeah, Clove's going.
Fubo, I'm going to get out of Fubo. I'm all out in Fubo. I stopped out at 33.10 FUBO. It's just, if it comes back up for the breakout, I might go in there. But
Problem with Fubo, it already had a big run yesterday.
I'm getting out more on Clove. I'm still negative, but I think this trade might make me back alive. Flag turned out to be really nice. MDs turned out to be jerk. AMC turned out to be a jerk, as usual.
Oh, there goes
Club is going to go to 13, I think. So I'm going to hold the club.
AMC.
TQQ. Lee is strong. Plug is strong. Club is going to go to 13. I'm still holding. So this is strong. I like that. Fubo.
Yeah, I think so.
Club, you think is going to go to 13? Let's see what the
Yeah, I
daily
think
chart
so.
looks like.
It looks like
This one is a Wall Street bet trade.
Yes, yeah, Clover Health, yeah.
Clover Health.
Here
Yeah,
we
so
go.
I love that. So for those of you who don't know what Wall Street bet is, it's usually the getting out a little bit more on it. When these stocks, the Wall Street people trade it. Oh, thank God on that. I think another long on Fubo. As soon as I got in, just I'm taking another long on Fubo as well. See if you can get another pop on it. 33. I'm adding a little bit more. Just see if you can go this time for the break of high of the day. Come on, Fubo. You can break the high of the day this time. Adding a little bit more on it. See if you can. Still long clove. If you can get the break of high of the day on Fubo, the daily chart is interesting on it. Next level, but we are at a level somehow. That's why it's just so struggling, so jerky. I think it's gonna go breakout though. It looks like a nice ABCD. My first entry was not great, but this looks interesting. I think it's gonna go up. I mean, really, the next level would be here. What we have.
Yeah, Fubo looks ready to break out here.
Clove, I'm still long Clove. I'm still long Fubo. See if you can get this 3350 out of the way. No, you don't. You don't drop. Plug is strong. It's going to go through 32, Brian. It's your famous 32 round play.
Well, I'm not watching. Plug had some news, or there was some, I think they reported. Yeah, Plug is strong. Does look like it.
This one, I'm going to get a stop out below VWAP on this, but let's see what Clove is doing. Still, it might go for 13.
Clove is trying. There we go. I got long with you there.
On Clove?
Yeah.
Be a good place to add a little bit. I'm adding a little bit more here on 1278. Let's see if you can play through 13. May not. May mess up my average, but my average is still at 1215.
Oh, Plug just blew through 32.
I know. Did anyone play it Plug through 32? It was obvious that it's going to go up. Very strong. Nice. Yeah, Plug was a decent one. I think Club is going to go through 13. I might add it to above 1280. My average is now 1250, so I'm going to hold it on that. TQQ had a nice run and is now selling off. Why? AMC is still jerky. Nice, Jason. Very nice. Damn it.
And back out of clove there.
Yeah.
It's not. It looks
Yeah.
like it's struggling. It might just consolidate here and go higher, but
Yeah. I gotta stop that on Fubo. It's just who would call this Fubo in the chat room? Introduce
that was
yourself.
on my watch list.
It was?
It was on my watch list.
Cloth bounce back.
But I never actually traded it. Yeah, look at plug. Plug's still going here.
Oh, this is strong. So I still have the cloth. Yeah, I kind of lost it. The technical damage on a 5-minute chart is big.
Yeah, it came back to the.
Wanted to.
It came back and touched the 9 moving average, and bounced off that.
I'm getting out of it then. Yeah, I'm getting out of cloth. 1248, 47.
AMC is trying to come back here.
I don't trust it.
No. It's still below the 9 moving average. Took a bit of a long on plug on that pullback under 32.
Yeah, that I was thinking of that.
Yeah, 31.98.
Yeah, I had
See if it can hold
lost
here.
today.
Still,
Yeah, I'm
it's still
negative,
pretty
guys.
extended.
It's cloth. AMC is just horrible. Nice, Dan. What did you trade, Dan?
Just added a bit more of plug, 31.70.
Yeah, this plug pullback could be interesting. I'm adding a little bit more here as well. Might it's not ready for a 920 trade, but on the 2-minute chart,
No.
this pullback might be back. Had a really nice run. I'm loading up a little bit here.
I'll take off some of my ad there, right here at 82. Just lowered my average.
Oh, AMC is still dumping.
Wow. Yeah, it's just using the 9 moving average as this. Came out of the rest of plug.
I'm still in there. I want to see if you can get the pullback on
It
it.
might
I'll
bounce.
get it
It
back
might
up.
bounce here. Yeah, I think it'll bounce here because that's the 9 moving average.
On a 2-minute chart, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, on a 2-minute chart. Yeah.
AMC is really weak. Clove came back up. I don't know if I can trust it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, AMC is still dumping. It's scary. I'm
Yeah,
glad I'm not in there. That's
it's
for sure.
still using the 9 moving average on the
See
2
what
minute.
plug is doing. See if plug can go back above 32. I doubt he's going to go back up to high of the day because really sold off really bad. There's a moving average here as well, around 32.12. See if we can get a pop above 32. I doubt he's going to go up to 30 high of the day, but let's see. Maybe above 32. I'm selling a little bit here. Love is, it seems that he wants to really go back up, huh? All right, if he wants to go back up,
Same
I'm
with
playing
Clove.
club again at 1280. Yeah, I'm getting another long club at 1280. See if this time wants to go to 13. Adding a little bit on it. See if you can go through 13. Is there any big ask at 13? Yeah, 1290 is good. Let's see if you can pop it. Yeah, club is going to go through 13. I'm going to get out of my plug at the rest at over there. It's just not worth my time. This one is much easier to trade. Club 1290 is going to pop toward 13, I think. Yeah, look at this beauty.
Yeah, look at it go.
13.
Here we go.
Beauty is sold some at 1305. I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go through 1310. Nice.
Yeah, it's going through probably 1330.
Yeah, this one might go all the way up to 1350, so I'm going to hold my shares. Plug, I'm all out of it. Fubo was a piece of garbage.
AMC still selling off.
Yeah, AMC is really, really weak. It's really, really garbage. You can see these days. Yeah, don't try to catch any reversal on it. Even if you do, don't get a stock. This one can go to 45. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking a reversal on it, but just be careful because this can go down. Club was the best. I love the volume. I mean, if I were patient, I just traded subpar stocks like AMC and Fubo. I really didn't like the volume or order flow. If I were a little bit more patient, I would have gotten much, much better trades. I mean, Club was so easy, just so easy to read the price action on it.
Yeah, it had a pretty big pullback there after that first run.
Yeah, I think Club has another push. I mean, it might go all the way
Yeah.
up to 14, so I'm going to actually hold my shares. I want to be a little more patient on it. Yeah, 1350 is going to go there. I should have added more. I think it's going to go up. I still have AMC is a jib, to be honest with you. I mean, I tried to catch opening range breakup on it, and I kind of knew that, this is a stock that was down 5% and below the VWAP. So I kind of knew, and I mentioned that is just, it's a subpar trade. And as you see, I got stopped out. Lee got destroyed. What's happening with Lee? But Club is just amazing. I think it's going to go up to 350, 1350.
Yeah, what's going? Lee is selling off.
1329.
Wow, Lee is getting smoked. Tesla's not doing much. What the heck's what's going on with Neo? Neo's heading south too.
So 1350 is what? Is 2 days ago high, I think. Yeah, it's 2 days ago high. IWM's setting off, huh? Disappointing IWM. Qs are still.
It was up quite a bit yesterday. The IWM. It was the one. I think it was the index that was the highest percentage gainer.
Yeah, it was 2% up yesterday.
I think this Neo is a Thor trade. He's going to grab it at the bottom here, or Amen. Here we go.
Yeah, Clove. TQQ.
Bit of a knife catch on Neo there. Oh.
Trying to catch a reversal on Neo.
Yeah.
It's a nice bounce. Let's see if the Qs are running up or not. I have some TQQ, wondering if I can sell some here.
Yeah.
Selling some of my TQQ.
I grabbed a little Neo just around 45 there on that candle.
TQQ might go for all-time high. That's good. Clove is still having it. It's too early for a 920 trade.
Yeah, getting
ATOS. ATOS, I think it's should be lower float stocks. I don't trade them that much. Yeah, these lower prices stocks are not great.
Where did I see that ATOS?
I think we traded in the past. I remember the ticker. I think even I have it in the book as an example.
No, it was. I just saw it like within the last day or two. I think I was doing some scans. I was looking at it.
Come on, TQQ. You can run up to the all-time high. Was in play yesterday, huh? MF Jones, yeah. I don't know. Clove, I was thinking of adding some in this pullback, but I had enough on it. So AMC is doing nothing.
Yeah, everything's kind of running out of steam for the time being. Elf might be picking back up here. Traded this once already.
Oh yeah, I traded the elf too. I got lost on it.
But it's jerky. It's kind of jerky right now. There we go. It's right at the VWAP. Just took some long. Oh, there you go. Nice. Another nice move on Elf. Here we go.
I don't trust it.
Good
I
sell
personally
sign.
don't want to touch it.
Yeah,
I
this
personally
yeah.
don't
Oh,
want to touch it.
okay. Getting out.
If it goes above 10, I might go back in there. But right now, it's just I hate.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I don't like the way it trades. You're right. It just jumps all over the place. So I'm out of it for a scalp. SPY looks like it's gonna maybe head lower. Clove, it looks kind of done, eh?
Clove looks like it. Yeah, I still have a little bit of shares on it, but it looks like it's done. I don't know if it's worth doing a 920 trade or not on it, but it looks like it's
Problem
done.
is, the problem with the 920 trade is the 20 moving average is so far below the 9. You've got the VWAP that's in the middle of those, so it's more likely to bounce off the VWAP if it pulls back here.
Yeah, Clove is coming back to my break-even point, so I think it's going to stop me out again like it did. So I'm getting out of it.
I'd watch it at the VWAP, around the VWAP. It might be good for a bounce off there. It's around 1280.
ALF potentially is a fallen angel, but oh, look at that. Now this could be interesting. I'm taking a long on it. See if it can go through 10. Oh, yeah, look at that.
It's already through 10.
I'm taking on it. Oh, yeah, beauty, 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 beauty. So now this could hold. Maybe it get halted or something. I'm long on it at 10.
Took a little bit of a long on Clove at 1289 here.
Nice. That was a good one. Yeah, that pop on ALF was nice. It was essentially a fallen angel. 15 minutes.
I'm gonna sell half here at 13 on Clove.
Oh yeah, beauty got halted now. Yes, that's what I wanted. I wanted to get a stock in a halt.
Nice. Still long some Clove off that pullback to the VWAP.
Damn, I can't believe I made my day back. Because I was negative on all of my trades, and thanks to this last trade on Clove, I came back green. It was really jerky in the morning. Okay, so TQQ, what's your plan? Get your direction straight. You want to go up really or should I get out?
The Qs are really choppy right now. I'm getting out of the rest of Clove. Green on that. Nice bounce.
Right I'm going to bail on TQQ, but I know as
soon as you do, it's going to go up.
I know as soon as I do. Yeah, I do share my screen, guys. You can select which channel you watch on the far right to the top. You can select right now. You might see Carlos, and then you can switch to my screen.
There we go, Clove. Look at that bounce right off the VWAP. I knew it.
I knew. Go ahead, please.
Mountain Pass on Wish. Yeah, that was a Mountain Pass. Probably. I mean, Peter's the Mountain Pass expert. It definitely looks like it put in a double top there. Second top around 950. Nice Thor's trading plug. Oh, I know you caught that top, didn't you?
I knew it.
Yeah, nice trade, Thor. That's a classic Thor trade right there, catching that topping pattern.
ALF is gonna open up above 11, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
so
10 is the first halt.
yeah, Anton, it's first halt, best halt.
Piece of garbage Fubo had my biggest loss on it. Bastard. I'm not gonna watch anyone else watch this. Just only Max. Delete it forever. TQQ. No, Anton, don't be nervous, but get ready to get out. Maybe you want to put your order maybe at 11, 11:20, because it's going to probably open up really fast, and then it might go up. But this one might go up. Let me take a look at the daily. Oh, yeah, it's an all-time high. Oh, it has room. Somebody mentioned that. Who mentioned that ALF? Somebody mentioned
Well, I
that.
traded it. I traded it right at the open. We traded it right.
We
I
did.
traded it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I got that first. Yeah, I got that first pop from 9.55 to 10, just under. So this will open up at around pretty close
Marius,
to 10:07. So you still got it. We still got another minute and a half. Yeah, GME is GME was in the news this morning too. Wow,
GME was active in the pre-market.
Yeah, it was. It had some news about. I think they raised some money, maybe.
See, bastard. As soon as I got out, TQQ is going to go for all-time high. Qs are going to make an all-time high. What is the all-time high on TQQ? At 114. I think it's going to go to 114.
Okay, get ready. Elf's going to open up here.
Hands on the trigger to get out. Yeah, it's possible to go to 12. Who asked that? Marius. I think it's possible. It's very possible to go to 12. This one looks like a big squeeze. Again, people are really shorting it.
Here we go.
I think it's going to go to 11 now. Maybe not. Let's see.
It's probably going to pull back, maybe.
Adding a little bit more on it here at 1080. Because I have a really good average. Oh, love it. Come on,
really
squeeze these
crazy.
shorts. Let's see, it might have another big pop in it, so I'm holding. My average is at 1020 now, so I have a good average. Go to 11. You can do it. I think it can go to 11. I'm not going to add anymore because then I'm going to mess up my average, but I think it's go to 11. Don't fight the 11.
Yeah, it's licking. It's trying. Here we go. I think it's going to go.
Yeah, it's going to go.
And hold, maybe.
Adding a little bit more on it. I just lied. I added a little more on it. Damn it. That pullback is not good.
It might do a significant pullback, but I still think it's probably going to run some more. Maybe down to 1030.
No, that's not good because my average is at 1040. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this one just does a small micro pullback. Let's see. Again, my average was good. Yeah, it's kind of jerky. I'm getting a little bit out, but I think it's still.
Here you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, getting out a little bit more here. Yeah, it might not go up. It looks a little bit heavy, but I still have some shares. Getting out a little bit here, 10, 11.
Kind of struggling here. AMC's come
No, it's
back up.
gonna go, Brian. Yeah, I know.
Think so?
AMC garbage. No,
Yeah.
actually, I'm not sure. Well, my average is at 1040, so I have a good cushion here. Although I don't want to get into a flush. This is a low float stock, so low float means there are big swings on it. Usually, mostly because of the big traders. Some traders have millions of shares that they dump, so I don't want to get flush into one of those. So I'm just slowly getting out of it. Yeah, I'm all out on it, guys. Yeah, I had a decent run on it, but I would have been fun if you can go through 12. But what is it, Alfie? What's the company doing?
Making large puppets. I don't know.
Low float, it is garbage, but
Oh, wow.
sometimes you have to try it. I mean, today was not a nice trading day for me. I'm green, but that loss on Fubo was bad. Again, Elf also got a loss on it, small at the open.
Wow, NVIDIA is crazy. Has gone up a lot.
Tell me what it is, 2,000 now?
No, but it was down like $25 yesterday at when in that initial crypto sell-off came ripping back up. Here goes Elf again.
Yeah, it goes. Damn it. Why am I not in there? Mario, sorry, in there? You asked for 12. You're going to get your 12 now. I'm not in there.
Probably.
You're going to get your 12 now, I think. What very funny, Matt. You knew it. Yeah, no, I'm not in anything, guys. Except some TNA and TQQ. See what these two doing. On the other account, I sold my some of my TNA that I had. That's my position.
Oh, look at Clove just popped up too.
Yeah, so on the other account, I'm also on cash. I had a little bit of TNA overnight on that account, so just holding on that. See if this ALF is gonna go through 12. Yeah, bastard! Just wanted to stop me. Clove, do 14. Man, I gotta stop trading in the first 2 minutes. Just a lot of good opportunities happening. If you wait, that's a really good lesson to me. Just wait; it's gonna come to you. When the trade on AMC was really a sub-patch trade, I knew it's the opening range breakup on a stock that is 5% below the VWAP. I told you it's going to be a meh trade, and it was a meh trade. But if you wait, look at Clove, such a classic ABCD opening range breakup. ALF was nice. ALF was a little bit more tricky because it's low float, and it's just jumpier, but Clove was just amazing. What's the float on Clove? Do you know? 112 million shares, so it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's not a low float, that's for sure.
This might go through 14. I mean, maybe we can play through 14, Brian. Huh? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm I've definitely got
Are you keen to
FOMO.
trade it through 14? I mean, I made a good money on it, but I don't have much of it.
You know, I've had a good day, like trading AMC and ALF at the open, so I'm kind of reluctant to take any big positions sort of this late in the
Yeah,
day too.
I'm taking just
Nvidia's,
a formal trade on Clove at 1369. See if you can play it a little bit higher.
jeez, Nvidia's breaking out here. Of course,
See
it's
if we can go
splitting
through
next month.
14. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do go to 14. I'm long at 1360. Selling 10% here. Let's go through 14. Love it, brother. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, Clove.
Muchas gracias. Gonna go to 14. This FOMO strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good strategy for blowing up your account, depending on which direction your equity curve want to go. I took a small size on it, just 5,000 shares on it, just to play in it. Can I perfect it? Yeah, don't drop. Go back to 14.
God, 5,000 shares would be a monster trade for me.
Yeah, I got out of it. AMC is popping up. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade anymore, to be honest with you. But AMC could be potential opening range breakup. Now it's doing that squeeze above 54. That's for sure. 5,000 shares of GME. What's it? No, that's expensive. Yeah, AMC Club didn't go through 14. I think it's gonna go through 14 Club. It's just had a bad entry, and I'm not really keen to find a good entry on it.
Done.
Space is running up. Nice. Yeah, Space was really nice. Yeah, really decent trades this later in the afternoon a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, except food, which was garbage. Everything else was turned out to be nice. ALF is bouncing back, might go through 12, but it's a little bit tricky for ALF right now because this is the second big pullback, already halted once, and there is a really nice rejection at 12. The high of the day is at 11.99, which is actually all-time high. So you got to be a little bit careful on this second pullback. You know, this is the bull flag strategy. You know, kind of an ABCD pattern, but you just got to be careful that this is a second one, and it gets a little bit trickier too for this one. I mean, potentially can go up, but you just have to, mind your share size. Like same as Club, this one was significantly smaller share size than the 1275 with this one because, you still had a really good room on it, but now it's just more extended. So, the position sizing is really important, and that's, it's like driving. Sometimes you go into the highway, it's busy, it's at night, it's raining, you got to be more careful, you're going to manage your speed. It's exactly the same thing. I wish there was some really nice algorithmic approach to it, but there is a lot of experience into that, when to go heavy, when to go small. Really look at it as a driving. Sometimes it's just you're in Germany, no speed limits, you have a nice car, just go max out. But sometimes you are in an area that's raining and you got to be careful, and you have family with you, or you have borrowing someone else's car, so you just drive differently.
You drive it harder. Especially if it's a Lamborghini. Did they, Chris? I didn't hear that. A rental from Hertz, yeah.
But does it make sense for you? I mean, you can't just take the same share size that you do at the open, but later in the afternoon or later in the morning or in the first pullback or the second pullback. The confidence that you have in the trade, it comes with experience. It's really, really important. I mean, I hope that it does. These examples does. Sometimes it's funny, but I hope that it does make sense for you that the consistent traders are the ones that they know when to go heavy and when to go just small share size in it. And to be honest with you, it's very personal. And Mike talks about that in his introduction to trading psychology, a lot about this element. It really goes to you when to go heavy, when to go, and it's very, very important to manage that. I mean, I had a big loss in football. That's why my day was really horrible, just because I went too heavy. And it's okay though. It's okay. I don't blame myself. I deleted this thing, football. I deleted this one. It's. But it was in all of my it was matching all of my elements, to be honest with you. But just didn't work out. But if I go too heavy right now, go 10,000 shares on ALF right now, and it just dump on you one point, then there's no one to blame except myself, because I shouldn't go heavy on this stock because it's already halted once. It's doing this is a third pullback doing, and you should definitely not go heavy on it. You can go 200 shares, but definitely not 10,000 shares. TQQ is a bastard.
Plug is coming back up to 32 day high.
Someone is asking that how long how long did it take to build that experience? How long did it take for you to become a skier? Or how long did it take for you to become a driver? It really depends on how much time and effort you're putting in there. Definitely not less than 6 months. That's for sure. I know it's very disappointing for a lot of people, but it's an honest answer. I doubt that anyone can become a really nice trader in less than 6 months. I wish it was 3 months or 2 months or 1 month. If there was a secret, I would have sold it to you for $5,000, but there is none. You just have to come, get the practice, do the mistakes that everyone does, do the average down, blow up an account. You know who you are. I know some of you right now averaging down or you're losing trade, but you gotta be in there. You gotta really take this. That's why I'm a big advocate of part-time trading, because a lot of people say, quit my job. I have a friend that quits the job, so I want to be a trader. I say, I know you want it, but you also have to respect the process. You can't force yourself into this career. And like any other career, you can't go into the medical school and say, hey, I want to become a doctor next month or next year.
Next week.
Next week. It just doesn't work that. No, dude, you got to go through this process. And maybe if you're really good, maybe you can bypass a little bit or just take 2 courses at the same time. But dude, you got to go through this residency period and stuff. So it's the same thing. I'm sorry, but that's an honest answer. I know this is disappointing. It's not for good business. Running a community or education, it's really good to promise you, you come, just do this 3 months and done. But it's unfortunately not.
Or do this magic trade every day. This one trade works every day. Doesn't work like that.
Jorg, there is a presentation coming to my trading room. Just search into the education center. I'll talk about all the elements of my traveling setup and everything. If Club, let's see what Club is doing.
It's kind of just hanging around right now.
Yeah, just hanging around. I mean, it could go either way. It's one of those situations that it could drop back to VWAP. I mean, that's definitely not a 920 trade. Or it can go back up to 14. I mean, there is a really good chance for it to chop around and then break out again 14. This is all-time high? No, it's not. Yeah. I mean, this is the situation that it's just a balance of power between buyers and sellers. There are a bunch of people who are just pretty much shorting it. Every rip, they're shorting it. There are some traders who are buying the dip. and eventually one of them panics and they have to cover. If they're long, they get stopped out. If they're shorts, they have to cover, and eventually that is squeeze. That's usually the squeeze in the afternoon that you see this pennant wedge that eventually break out. That's when everyone is waiting. And when you're short, you have to cover. That's when the squeeze happens. It can go either way as well. There's a lot of people are probably staying there long. Amateurs are staying, just jumping into a trade, anticipating one way or another, and then they probably either chopped up or they get squeezed. That's why I didn't like the trade that Brian did on AALF. I mean, with all due respect, I know you were trying to go below the VWAP, but I kind of knew that it might, chop me around. As soon as I saw that volume is coming, a squeeze is happening, I jumped up above. So I got a worse entry than Brian, but at least I had a little bit more confirmation that, okay, no, the squeeze is happening.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Brian? You tried to catch this freaking
Yeah.
squeeze from VWAP, but especially in these
It was
lower float
early on.
stocks, these squeeze on the VWAP can be a little bit tricky. Gabrobro, there is a video I posted on YouTube. Should be on Education Center as well. Maybe Abiel or someone in the support can help. $10.25 went by fast. Yeah, I'm done with my day. Handcuffs in order. Handcuffs is in order. Guys, I do have one request before just jumping over. The reviews on my book is 9,904. Do you think you can make it to 10,000? Just honest review. I mean, that would be cool to have 10,000 reviews. That would be a milestone. I mean, if you can just go right, you're honest, 1 star, 2 star, whatever. I'm not asking for any 5 star or anything, just honest review. That would be cool if you can get to 10,000. It will eventually, but it would be nice if you can get it faster. If you can do that, that would be nice. That would be appreciated, very, very appreciated. Also, you got a new headshot. How do you like the headshot? Yeah, just got a new headshot. Anyways, that was an advertisement. So Mike is shooting for 50 reviews. Give some love to
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I think the reviews get halted at 10,000. You see, squeeze it to 10,000, it gets halted for 5 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to character, guys. Let's see what QQQ is doing. IWM is recovering a little bit. Qs are doing. Bitcoin is below 30,000.
Yeah, AMC really
kind of lost
popped
it.
back up here.
DC. I mean, it's against Amazon policy to offer anything in return of review. So, and I'm not asking for anything in return. So I don't want to really mess around with Amazon. They're really, they're really strict about review and manipulating and stuff. So that's why I always ask honest opinion. It's hard. I personally never wrote a review on anything anywhere. So I really appreciate the fact that you go and find where should I put, click. And so I do appreciate that because I personally never do that. ALF is running up. Yeah, I can see that, ALF. Yeah, it's a little bit trickier.
Yeah, Alpha's coming back up. Yeah, it's tricky this time of day, though.
Oh, sorry about that. Peter. Sorry, Peter. Not from Peter. Fubo is coming. Fubo can piece of garbage.
Yeah, Fubo came right back up there, eh?
Plug is also coming back up. Yeah.
Yeah. AMC done here. Maybe, might be going lower.
Big ask on who?
Yeah.
Plug, yeah. I'm surprised the plug sold off like that. I wasn't expecting the plug to really drop below the VWAP, but yeah, it's gonna go up, breaks the highs. Oh, there you go,
Wow,
beautiful.
look at that! Look at that pop! Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
beauty,
Huh.
beauty.
What do we got for levels here? Looks like 33 is a level that could be possible.
Yeah, it might keep going higher. I'm just getting a FOMO trade on it, 32.31. See if you can get
Yeah,
through 32.50.
I took a bit of a short on AMC. It's going to cover some here because it's right down to the 20 moving average right now. Could pop back up from here.
You're short AMC. I'm long
Yeah.
plug a little bit just to see if you can and just get the next move up. 32.50 possibly the level of doing. Definitely we are at the level. Yeah, potentially that's definitely a level 32.34. I see back of June 10th, 11th, and 9th. There's this area.
I'm out of AMC. I think it's going to bounce. This could be a 920 trade.
Gotta be kidding me, TQQ. I'm getting back in there. Come on, Plug. You can continue repair.
Elf just rolled over. Clove. Fubo. Ooh.
Qs are running. It's good.
Yeah, Qs are popping
See
up.
if Plug can go back up. Yeah, Qs are running out. I added a little bit on TQQ. It's going to go for the break of all-time high, TQQ at 114, which QQQ would be at, the all-time high would be at 346. So there are three main indexes, IWM, SPY, and QQQ. SPY is the 500 company, the S&P 500. IWM is the 2,000 small cap companies except financials. No, sorry. QQQ is except financials. The IWM has a lot of financials in there. All the garbage banks are in there. And then
the small regional banks are in the IWM.
Plug didn't get a follow through, huh?
It's kind of a tough time of day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
it
this.
never had
this
the
sort of,
momentum, to be honest with
this
you.
kind of period is kind of where things try to decide where they're going to go for the rest of the day after all these pops and
I
drops.
thought maybe that volume does something, but right, I'm getting out of it then. I kind of was expecting that it gets the follow through, but it's kind of jerky. How's your short on AMC doing, Brian?
I'm out of it. It was just a pull back to the 20 moving average. Kind of thought maybe taking it long at the 20 for the 920 trade, but I just don't feel like AMC is one I wanted to continue to play.
Well, it was pretty weak at the open, so
Yeah.
usually you're looking
Well,
for a very strong stock.
yeah. Well, that was that was a nice short at the open. It definitely looked weak at the open, but now it's kind of chopping.
Clove rejected that.
Yeah, Club that has below the 9 and the 20 now. It's almost like I would consider shorting it here. But I don't really
creeping
want
up.
to take another trade. There's a lot of red on the screen. Spies in the green.
Wish was active. What's going on with Wish? Damn it, sold off, huh? They're not active. Why am I not having Wish in my? Because it didn't do much in the pre-market. Yeah, it was a really nice opening range breakup. Wish, I guess. Yeah, it was very decent at the open. Space did nice. Plug is a jerk. So Ben E. So averaging down is usually happening when you're past your stop loss. Your original trade idea is not working anymore. If you just keep adding on overpassing your stop loss, then that's definitely you're averaging down. Building a position, like for example here, you want to go to space. You know you want to go long. You know you kind of like let's say for example, you kind of you're chasing it. You go small size and you're waiting for the pullback. You just go in there just to be in there, or just if it didn't give you the pullback, you get a little bit, but you never go full size on it when a stock is kind of out of there. Like in this particular example, let me actually go with the example that I have. Like in this particular example, this is a really good example because I did add into that. So Clove, when it started running up here, I knew it's kind of extended from the VWAP. From 1230 to 12 is a big distance. So I went long a little bit, but I didn't go full size. I added very heavily here at 1220 because that's the pullback that I was expecting. Even my pullback, the second entry might not be that much of a difference from my first entry, but the difference is the stop loss that it comes closer to the moving averages. Now my stop loss is here. But if the stock drops here below the VWAP and I just keep adding and keep adding and keep adding, then my original trade idea, an original stop loss, a reasonable stop loss is not in play anymore. I just keep adding just because I'm desperate. And then that's a difference. That's a difference. And it's very, very important. Like in Fubo, for example, Fubo is a good example because, originally when I went long, I kind of knew I was going to give it some room to VWAP. And I did get a stopped out before losing the VWAP. Eventually lost the VWAP and I got a stopped out here. But if I were just kept adding on it, then I was averaging down on a losing trade. Because if instead of getting stopped out, I would add, now my average would be a little bit higher between 33 to 30, it becomes 33, and then it drops out, I added more to bring my average down. My original trade idea, which was an ABCD pattern 5-minute opening range breakup, was really not in play anymore. I'm just desperately adding. There is absolutely no reason for me to be long below a very critical stop loss in this particular case. Same for short. You might be short and it's above the VWAP, just constantly pulling back, going up, and you just keep adding to your short. You have no business being short on a very strong stock that is just ripping higher. Even if you want to short it like Ayman is doing on extreme reversals, you have to wait for your entry. So you have to have a trade book on that. And unfortunately, averaging down is very tempting because most of the time it works. Like 80% of the time it works, but that 20% that it doesn't work, it just blows up your account because the loss is going to be really, really heavy. Exactly, theory works until it does. It's like overtrading. It's not overtrading unless you lose money. Uh, uh, no, but overtrading and making money is also a bad habit. You're building a bad habit. It's like having a Red Bull and just go for a run. It's pretty good, but you're building a bad habit. That's that's very, very important, that you get rewarded for a bad habit and you start building that habit, but you should know that that's a bad habit. Yeah, you always do that. I mean, even I do that from time to time. But as you grow as a trader, you know that you got to be careful. You manage your risk better and better and better. Your capital becomes your like a Dr. Alexander Eller says it becomes like an oxygen for a scuba diver. You just watch that carefully because you don't want to die. Or like a professional athlete, that they're very careful about their body, their health, their no injury in something, because that's how they make money. That's how they live. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, or whatever this thing. LeBron James, their body, their muscles, what they eat is part of their living. So they're watching it out very, very carefully. We don't. We can just go have 2 beer and 5 pizza because we don't make money with our body. But trading your capital, it's not your money, it's the capital. It's the working capital. You got to be careful with that. It's like having a restaurant. You have to make sure that you have enough supply to serve your and that's a problem with trading, because when dealing with the money, you think, oh, it's money. No, it's not your money. It's your working capital. You buy and you sell, you put the working capital back for the next opportunity. There's a difference between looking at your money as a cash that you can buy pizza with it, or it's your working capital that you're running a business with it. ALF is going back up. Oh yeah, this thing doesn't want to stop.
I can see that. Yeah, it's right back up again at 12. Yeah, volume really came in on it.
Yeah, it could be a good long. Might go through 12.
Yeah, the only problem is at this time of day, these moves are a little more suspect.
To fail, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've already sort of been here once. We'll see if there's enough buyers still around to push this thing higher. The volume's really coming up here. Did almost over 3 million shares in the last 2 minutes. Here we go.
Why my credit card got charged? Who's charging my credit card? 7 o'clock in the morning. I just got a notification. Who is it?
I think it's Peter.
No, it's my EA. I got a ticket last night. She's paying it now.
BBT membership.
Oh.
I'm not seeing anything I'm really crazy about trading. It's just getting a lot of chop right now. The Qs kind of did a bit of a false breakout there, eh?
Yeah, that's garbage. Garbage cues. They're really choppy.
And Nvidia's just sort of chopping around 750. Kind of watching. DDD is Triple D seems to keep popping up on the scanner.
Yeah, it's hitting the scanner all the time. What is that one up to?
Yeah, look at this. Boy, there's a nice chart.
Okay, I have an announcement about the community. So as you know, the crypto until last week it was really hot. Um, so we decided to have this Friday crypto that Jarad is leading. He himself is heavily invested in crypto assets. He knows them. He reads all the white papers and he knows what are the differences and everything. So if you really want to understand about crypto as an asset, not as a pump and dump Dogecoin to the one or something like that, um, we have these Friday sessions. Go to the webinar page. In the Friday, we're going to have at 11 a.m. Eastern time every Friday. Jarad is going to talk about that. This idea came from the discussion that I had with Jarad in Austin last month in May. And I learned a lot from Jarad discussing about, what are the differences and stuff. So, he's a computer scientist. He understands how these blockchains and these smart chains work and what are the differences. And, if you want to really invest them and even if trade them, reasonably, that's something that I highly recommend to attend. Again, for all elite members in the membership webinar room, that's one thing. This week we have, talking about crypto, digital wallets are something that is apparently is going to be part of our life from now on. I personally haven't had yet, but the security of these crypto wallets and brokerage accounts are really important. The cyber crimes are just getting crazy, and as we get older, it's hard to keep up with the technologies, all the passwords and all the apps and stuff. So my aunt came from California here, and she was just so exhausted with, in Canada, you have to fill the application and then you have to download an app. You have to fill, and she just can't. She's 70 something, and she was just going nuts. You have to keep up with technology, and unfortunately, there's no way around it. So securing your brokerage account or crypto wallet, and all of these, so even securing your personal computers and stuff is part of trading, because there are people who lose a lot of money just by hacking into their wallets or not securing their brokerage accounts and stuff. So that's why Kyle is going to have this presentation today as part of a strategy and trade book. You might say, okay, what is this? What does it have to do with trading? But there is an important element of trading and your life to have this security. And it's getting more sophisticated. All of these, sometimes, randomly you're getting a message from DHL. Oh, you have a package. Click on this to release it from customs. These are usually phishing messages that you click on that. You go and, that the link is like DHL something, but there's usually one word or something is different. So you got to be really, really careful what to click, what to, download. Just click on that link and done. Your phone is completely out of the hand of, the hackers. And that actually, I was watching a Netflix documentary about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' phone got hacked. I mean, Jeff Bezos has a security team. He's the richest person in the world. He has a security team, not only physical security, but also cyber security. But they could send him a message in WhatsApp that actually hacked his phone. And, they linked it to, some countries in the Middle East that they did that. So, so that's very important to have these kind of things. And unfortunately, as we get older, we can't keep up with the technology and read all of these forums and all of these manuals and stuff. So we have to rely on, reliable sources to do at least the minimum. So yeah, I think that's very, very important, guys. Anything from you, Brian?
Yeah, no, it's very, very important. It's kind of funny because I on the cryptocurrencies, because I kind of thought that when everything was going up, I kind of thought the only thing that was really going to bring this down was a major country kind of coming out and saying, we don't want this. And of course, it was ended up being China, because China has their own digital currency, and they don't want any other digital currencies competing with the yuan. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how cryptocurrencies have kind of taken a bit of a hit here. But there's still lots of applications outside of the currency for the blockchain and everything. So, yeah, be interesting to hear Jared's perspective on that for sure.
Definitely. And I shared with you one of my friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
He posted something that his wallet, $25,000 completely wiped out. And he's a tech guy. He's a DJ, composing music, mixing music and stuff. So he's a really, really tech guy. He built his own PC, has all of this stuff, but still, his account got hacked, his digital wallet, and then there's no way to track it. And he was posting a screenshot with Binance customer support that they say, hey, what happened to my money? And they said, you know what? It's just the nature of blockchain. It's gone out of our exchange. Good luck finding it. And all the criminals are in there. So yeah, I think it's very, very important. I mean, it's less and less concern in a typical financial system like brokerage accounts and banks, because now you can trace the money, and that's the whole purpose of all of these regulations, like FATF, or tracking money laundering and tracking all of these financial crimes. So, but when you go into the DeFi or decentralized finance, like blockchain stuff, so you got to be a little bit more careful, because that's just looks like a heaven for all the hackers and the criminals. And it's just gone. Yeah.
Well, I was surprised because I watched a little bit of stuff on Bitcoin. I was surprised they can actually trace where the money went. Of course, that's how the U.S. got some of the colonial pipeline money back, because they were able to trace where it went. I always thought it was, once it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to find it. So I think this is why you see criminals going to different digital currencies. Like apparently Monero is a little bit harder to trace. But again, Jarad probably will enlighten us about all that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, come to the Friday mentorship sessions, guys. I think it's really worth it. Again, it's part of your membership, and that's the beauty of and the community sharing knowledge, the collective knowledge, so to speak. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, China has been banning cryptocurrency like 50 times so far. They do manipulate these kind of things. I don't know how you can trust them. Tomorrow they say, oh, no, we accept Bitcoin, but we just like this. And then they manipulate that. Like how many times they start an investigation on Chinese companies, like Baba is under Chinese investigation, and then the stock drops, they buy the puts, and then say, oh, no, that was nothing. And then it goes back up. It's just manipulating everything.
I liked the fact that Texas is trying to attract all the miners out of China, and I don't think Texas has some problems with their power grid. I thought so. It's kind of funny.
All right. So Wish is doing nothing. ALF. All right, I'm going to sign off a little bit early. Brian is going to stay for another 8 minutes and say he knew it until John.
I knew it. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, guys. YouTube guys, free riders, thanks for staying. We appreciate a like, comment, dislike. Thanks for that 5 people who disliked us. What is it to dislike? Seriously, this video. I don't know which part of you don't like. Anyways, love you guys, and talk to you soon.